This video is brought to you by TS4U IT Engineering Bootcamp. Are you looking for an IT bootcamp? In your journey with TS4U, you will get workshops and tasks every week, hands-on practice, technical tests and tasks, show and tell, mock interview. And we get paid fully only when you get a job. You can get affordable student loan. Become eligible for free tuition. We offer industry-demanding IT boot camps. Join now and start your IT engineering journey today with TS4U.
How can you design and implement multi-tier architecture in VPC, as web/application/database tiers using subnet and routing options?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, we actually use VPCs a lot, and we try to maintain the highest level of security when we deploy the VPCs. Okay, so that actually includes the subnets, the route tables, and the internet gateways and net gateways, all these stuffs, and internally to secure the network like east-west and north-south traffics, we actually implement the network access control list, the knuckles. Okay, so we pretty much use all the VPCs that we have, the VPC components that we have, and for like accessing the regional applications or services, such as we use the RDS databases and S3 a lot. So we have VPC endpoints enabled for those as well. All right, so we can pretty much use all the VPC that actually the VPC services that it offers. Okay, so what we do, like we create a VPC, and we typically we have three different subnet types. We have the public subnets, which actually has all the internet access, and whatever we actually put on there, like whatever instances we deploy, we can actually access them from the outside. So that's the public subnet that we have. And then the private subnet that we have. So we actually have this private subnets, which has one-way internet connectivity with the NAT gateway. So for those subnets, we actually launch because of storing our backend servers typically. So the backend servers, and let's say we have a cache server there, let's say we use Redis. So we put our Redis instance there as well. So that subnet helps us to keep our instance secure from the outside threats, because private subnet has the NAT gateway. So NAT gateway doesn't let anybody access our EC2 instances from the outside. Okay, only the internal traffic can go outside. So whatever we request from our EC2 instances from the private subnet, they only can reach internet. Otherwise, nobody from the outside can actually access our private subnet. So we are kind of safe there. And for our like high priority databases, we use the intra subnets. So those intra subnets, or the data subnets that we call, so those subnets doesn't have internet connectivity at all. Okay, those are actually like in a black box. So what we have is we created some AMIs for our databases, and we deploy those AMIs with all the pre-configured things, and we put our database like pre-configured with the AMI, custom AMI, and we deploy those EC2 instances on the intra subnet or the data subnet, so that like we don't need to do any updates, we don't need to do any patching. If we need to do any patching, we create and release a new version of the AMI, and we just update the AMI onto some new instances and launch it on the intra subnet. Okay, so this is how we actually set up the infrastructure, and in order to access all of these applications, we don't have like hundreds of key pairs for all of these servers, and we don't actually log in from like randomly on these instances. We have a specific gateway where we actually uh, enter and access our EC2 instances, for example. So what we have a Bastion host in our public subnet. So in that Bastion host, we actually have access to all of our EC2 instances that we have, all the subnets that can be accessed via the Bastion host. So we just need to access our Bastion host because this is a public EC2 instance, so we can access it from any of our computers. And that Bastion host actually has all the security measures taken with the security group, with the knuckles, so that only our IP addresses can get through and access the Bastion host. So it's kind of safe on that side as well. And we access our EC2 instances through the Bastion host, so that is secure. And as I mentioned, we also access our S3 and the RDS, which are private. Okay, so we access them through our private subnet with the help of VPC endpoint. So we have VPC gateway endpoints enabled for the S3 and RDS. So we can actually access them from our data subnets or from the private subnets, even though we don't have any internet connection there. Okay, so this is how we set up our architecture. So it actually helps launching our 2-tier application and the n-tier applications that we have. So that pretty much runs kind of same way on all of our VPCs. So yeah, this is a solid architecture that we have for like securing and running at scale our applications.